There we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this first try at Kahuna Reads. Thanks for joining me this afternoon because it was kind of a quick thing that I decided to do this morning because there was a gap in the streaming schedule. Just making sure you guys can hear me okay. I do have the chat function up in front of me, so yeah, here we go. Good old days when hammer drop sound used to burst everyone's eardrums and or pants. That predates me. So here's what the idea for this stream is. I'm just going to pick out some articles that I've looked at that I really like, but that I think might be fun to actually be heard read. In other words, I'm not doing this for a critique. I'm not doing to say, this is a bad article, this is a good article, this is what you could change. That's up to you. It's up to the person whose article I'm reading, if they want to do anything, if they hear something and go, oh gosh, that sounds funny when it's read out loud. I just want to have a little bit of fun actually reading the articles. That's the whole goal with this, is just to have a little bit of fun. So I'm going to put them up on screen, and we'll go from there. And if you guys have an article you'd like read, drop it in. I'd rather read the articles that you guys choose rather than what I choose, because that tells me that's something you want to hear. But I've got my list ready to go. So if you want to hear something, please drop it in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to pull it up. So the first one I'm going to go to is one, I believe it's called Skybird. Let me pull it up real quick here. And I rather enjoyed the reading of this. It's about a constellation. So let me put this on the screen. And awesome. So I read the entire thing and nobody heard it. It's because that's what happens when you try to do a stream at the last minute. Hang on 1 second here. I will be more than happy to add that. So you're going to watch a little bit of technical magic. Bear with me here while I get this right. You see, it's what happens when you forget to add the microphone into the appropriate scene. All right, can you guys hear me now? Is that better? Well, let me know. I now need to kill a whole bunch of stuff. We'll kill this. That's what happens when you just paste a whole bunch of stuff. So you guys can hear me now. Okay, cool. Better. Sound like I'm underwater. Okay, well, that's at least heard. Let me do a couple of things here. Make this a little better for you. Yeah, I really should have tested this before I went live. All right, now I think. Can you all see that now? Okay, cool. And no, that's a background noise. Yeah, you may hear. I want to make sure I haven't got doubled up on my microphone here. No, microphone seems okay. Looks like I've got the stream boss in 2 different places, which I really got to do this ahead of time. You know, no more of this last minute thing. So apologize, bear with me. Gosh, this looks so professional, Kahuna. Could you do this on my stream? No. I can't do it that way. All right, I think we've got things cleaned up now. All right. Hey, E-Song, welcome. And looks like the Heffa crew is coming in. Woohoo! Testing is for the cautious. Yeah, nobody's ever accused me of being cautious. All right, so let's get back to this article. So I'm going to reread it for those who couldn't hear it when I read it the first time, which is all of you. All right, this is the Skybird. It is a constellation article, a celestial body article written by MKJ. All right, here we go. The Skybird, divine constellation. The Skybird, named after the animal skybird, is a divine constellation representing Colibri, the goddess of nature and healing. It consists of 6 stars, depicting a bird seen from above. Although many find the pattern of the constellation to be quite crude, most find the symbolism alone to be a thing of beauty. As with all divine constellations, stars in it have a blue glow to them, hinting at their divine origin. It is said that when a follower of the light needs guidance or comfort, the constellation will be the clearest stars on the night sky, as a reminder that Colibri is always with you. The Skybird has been on the night sky for as long as anyone can remember. Knowledge from the ancient times is very scarce, but it is believed the constellation did not appear on the sky until Colibri ascended to godhood. The Skybird has been a symbol of hope for many people. Many followers of the light often find comfort in looking to the constellation above them. Over the last decade, many of the elderly claim that the constellation has grown dimmer over the years. If it wasn't for elves supporting this claim, it would probably have been chalked up as being a decline in their eyesight. No one knows why this is happening, but some believe it could be related to the fact that no one has shown any sign of divine powers for hundreds of years. This constellation does have alternative names, the Heaven Bird and the constellation of Colibri. It contains 6 stars. On the page you'll find a top-down view of a skybird. That is how it is seen. It is a divine constellation, and it is the symbolism for Colibri. All right, so I like that article. It's short, but it tells us a few things. Wow, taking a while to change the screen over. Or I really posed up my main page. That's entirely possible. Yeah, I did. Oh my. So we'll fix that so you can actually see me in a moment. There we go. Crazy. Anyway, I like that article because it's short, sweet, and it really kind of it gives you a few things to think about. By the way, how's the volume? It's always a little quiet on the end there, so I kind of pumped it up a little bit. So hopefully you guys can hear it a little better. At least my meter says you can. So hopefully that's working for you. And, you know, welcome to everybody who has joined. Welcome to the Hefflings. Again, if you have an article that you would like to see streamed, that you'd like me to read, please drop a link into the chat. I am more than happy to read articles. I like reading other people's stuff. I like bumping up other people's stuff. Volume is okay. Cool article. Yeah, I mean, one of the things I really liked about this article when I first glanced at it is it tells you about the constellation, but it hints at something else. Songbird, you're up next. It hints at something else going on. The stars are dimming. No one has seen the divine presence in hundreds of years. So what's going on? The older people are saying, hey, this is dropping down, and it's been confirmed. So that's a very cool one. Scribe and Akoti, I'm going to be... I apparently dropped onto the calendar right before he did. So I'm going to be sending everyone over to him on the second half. Because I'm only going an hour. This is not a long thing. This is a test thing. I wanted to see how this goes and see how people like it. Oh, we were talking to Song. My bad. That's awesome. I love to see collaboration, so this is really going to be a fun one. So while Scribe is streaming on another channel, I'm going to be reading an article on his and Song's world. Cool. So yeah, I think that's a really nice. It's a short article, but I think it's really nice in how it's put together. So let's take a look at Esong's article here. Let me pull it up real quick. Wow. All right, here we go. Get it up on screen any second now. There we go. All right. I'll be reading this cold, so, we'll see how this goes. I haven't read this before. All right, let's switch over to the screen where you guys can see it. This article is Shards of the Elder One. The 66 shards serve as a conduit to the Elder One, who views the current existence as an imperfect and corrupted one, and sees a rebirth through complete destruction. They are scattered across the material and planar realms. Unbeknownst to each other, both Thadra and Death Dreamer Gar Sharkoth are actively searching for the shards. When united, the 66 soul shard contain enough power to free the Elder One from his divinely imposed prison. The shards attract each other, seeking out the familiar divine energy. An individual who unites 3 shards summons a minor avatar of the Elder One. 6 united shards summon a major avatar of the Elder One. Since the time of the Great Existence, 6 shards have been united, causing the great devastation of the Second Age. Paladins and clerics across the world try to prevent the discovery and union, though few know the full extent of the repercussions should they fail. When a shard is destroyed, its power is released into the worlds, and a fraction of it is absorbed by the other shard. Destroying these shards releases waves of devastation, so it was decided after the shattering that, when found, the shards will be locked up and guarded and not destroyed. Many of these places have been safely guarded for millennia, though the purpose and reason for their guarding has been lost to some, allowing these shards to be sold as desirable gems. The shards were created shortly after the Great Existence. In a rare act of unity, the gods of alignment worked together to imprison the Elder One and his desire for corruption. Aware of their plans, the Elder One made a great prism into which he poured his energy and his essence. He shattered it into 66 pieces and scattered them across the material and planar existences. When the pieces are united, the Elder One will regain his former strength and be able to free himself from his divine chains. There are 66 shards of the Elder, scattered across the material and planar universes. Their meaning has been lost to time. Some have been found and turned into jewelry, decorative hilts, and other ornamentation. Even those within the cult of the Elder One are largely unaware of their existence. The few that are tend to be corrupted by the Elder One, like Death Dreamer Gar Sharkoth, or Deep Keepers of Knowledge within the Paladin communities. All right. I like that one too. Oh, thanks, Q. That's I really appreciate that. Can I read all of your articles as an audiobook? I would be happy to. Not a problem. One of the things I actually want to do in my world is on some of the articles, I want to actually do a voice and basically an audiobook version of an article so that people can hear it as well as see it. 66 pieces, Baltimore's an amateur. Did you see my card? Q, go ahead and repost it. Oh, wait, no, I didn't see it, actually. Where are you? Let me scroll up a little bit here. Nope, yeah, Q, I don't see it, so go ahead and repost it. I would be glad to read that as well. Yeah, I don't see it at all. There we are. All right. 666 shards seems excessive. Yeah, how do you keep track of all that? I like this article. Curses to you for writing the phrase 66 soul shard. When cold reading, that is one of those phrases that is like 66 soul shard. Wow. Okay. I'll get back at you for that one. No, this is a great article. It definitely has a feeling of foreboding. I mean, it's not talking about something nice, and you really get the feel that it's, creeping down on you. I really enjoyed reading that one. Supposed to be shards, but I edited. Oh, don't worry about that. I mean, I'm just talking about 66 soul shards. That is a tongue twister of epic proportion. That was fun. All right. Well, there's Q's article, so let me pull that up real quick. Okay. All right. This one could be fun because I see at least 2 voices in here. 3. I see 3 voices. This is going to be fun. I like doing voices. All right. Let's get into the article, shall we? Ever Monday Research Facility. Monday already. I swear, it feels like it was just yesterday. Killing someone is easy, but killing an idea takes a lot more effort and disregard for human rights. The Ever Monday Research Facility used to be a mid-tier corporate structure where workers went about their daily lives as another cog in the corporate machine. It has now become the primary site of R&D for the Task Force Monday in their quest to contain Mondays. It isn't Mondays themselves that are the problem, but the idea of just how miserable they are have become a mimetic info hazard, leading to billions lost every year in lost productivity and general complaining. To try and figure out the best way to fight against the Monday mood, the task force has created a self-contained office in which it always is Monday, so they can study its effect and attempt various harebrained schemes to fix it. No one really volunteers for what is basically hell, so the task force have turned to unorthodox means of procuring test subjects. Basically hell. Let me out! Scrawled in blood on a whiteboard. Although the Ever Monday Research Facility retains much of its trapping as an office, with endless rows of cubicles, unpleasant lighting, motivational posters, and so on, it is a simulated Groundhog Day of Mondays. Subjects are put through a combination of drugs and brainwashing so they'll keep thinking every day is another Monday while researchers watch and perform experiments. About 10% of the workers are plants, task force members sent in to aid those experiments and observe the herd up close. When necessary, they also remove anyone who's broken through the programming and realized something is going on. Subjects are categorized by a stability index with complicated names, but more informally named after the days of the week. Fridays are the most sane subjects, while those approaching Mondays are probably a danger to everyone around them. This article has suffered from Monday mood and will be finished at a later date. If you feel like you are dreading Monday, even reading about it, please report for containment at your earliest convenience. Task Force Monday. Everyone hates Mondays, but there's only one task force trying to kill it. Sponsored by several megacorps, fed up with the profits and productivity lost on Mondays, Task Force Monday is an info-hazard fighting force who is bringing the light and the fight to Mondays. They run the Ever Monday facility, and that should be your first hint that they're not really the good guys after all. Task Force Monday Containment Specialist. We all know Mondays suck, and the Corps is finally doing something about it. I wouldn't get my hopes up about it, though. Experiment log. There's science to be done if one is to defeat Monday. Test 17A, Java experiment. Excessive amounts of Java is sufficient to defeat the Monday mood for a time, but soon lead to Java mania, and the experiment was cancelled after 3 subjects were killed and eaten. Test 84C, Sewer Gator Motivator. What if subjects felt a terror greater than their fear of Mondays? Cancelled after the Sewer Gator, used in the test, escaped, and again, ate 3 subjects. Alright, that was a fun read. That was... that is a very entertaining read. Oh my god, I laughed so hard I damn near fell off my chair. I need to do some sort of megacorp voice. Yeah. Megacorp needs merch, damn it, yes. This is a great article. It was a lot of fun to read. It's humorous. It kind of gives me a feel for what I'm going to see in the rest of the world, although I'm sure there's probably some darker stuff in there. But there's a sense of humor in this that I really, really enjoyed reading. So much fun. Some of the things I really liked, the test experiments, that was my favorite part at the end there. That was just, and they were eaten. It almost felt Monty Python-esque. Had I pre-read this, I would have done this. I would have done the test experiments in a John Cleese-ish voice. That would have probably been the right one for that. So, in fact, let me try it in that voice and see how that plays. Test 17A, Java experiment. Excessive amounts of Java is sufficient to defeat the Monday mood for a time, but soon lead to Java mania. And the experiment was cancelled after 3 subjects were killed and eaten. Yeah, see, that one... yeah, you might need more experiments. Yeah, I think, had I pre-read this... that's the voice I would have used, because it just sounds like it's the way you wrote that last line. You know, the 3 subjects were killed and eaten. It just sounds like something out of a Monty Python sketch. So, well, awesome, great article. This was a lot of fun to read. You know, it just that's where it is. You know, these kind of articles really entertain me. Again, if you have an article you want me to read, throw it in there. This is not a critique. I'm not going to go through... look, I'm reading these cold, so I'm going to make mistakes, and, you know, the performer in me says, just keep going. Just keep going. You know, throw them in there. This is not about critiquing. I don't care about typos. I don't care about... Look, I'll read through it and I'll figure it out, and I'll do it, because this is just for fun. and it's kind of a fun read. So if you got them, throw your links in there, because this could be a lot of fun. Let's see. Let's go to another one that I did read earlier. Let's see. There it is. This one is by Crayola Smoker. How good are you at helping find voices in an article? I have an article that needs more quotes. I can throw, if you're asking me, I have a lot of voices I can do. So if you need quotes and you need them read, I can do that, if that's what you're asking. If you're asking, can I write quotes? I'll be honest, I kind of suck at it. I have a hard time writing quotes. I can read them just fine, but after hearing Ella Fitzgerald butcher Mac the Knife and Just Keep Going, I've lost my sense. Yeah, and that's actually one of the greatest recordings of Mac the Knife ever. She just completely trashes the lyrics, and she just goes into a scat and keeps going. It's a great version. All right. So this next one is called The Story of Fuskar's Quill. And folks, if I'm reading these and I mispronounce it, I apologize ahead of time, because I don't want the pronunciation to, mess things up for you. So I apologize in advance. I will try my best on the difficult pronunciations. Having said that, let's get into another article. All right. The Story of Fuskar's Quill, as told by Renee Kenyon, youth librarian. Long ago, before any of our parents or grandparents were born, the great library of Calior existed on the island of Erudition in Kings Bay. And in that library lived an ancient librarian named Elias Fusker. Now, ever since his first days, newly apprenticed to the library, Elias had a voracious need for knowledge. Once he had a question in his head, whether his own or from someone else, he spent every off-duty minute, and a few on-duty ones, devouring pages to find the answer. It did not take him long before he had the answers to every routine question the librarians were asked. In just 4 short years, he climbed to chief researcher, a feat never heard or before or since. As the years passed, the Empire expanded its reach and alliances, pulling in knowledge from all over the known world. Floors were added, neighboring buildings were annexed, and all sorts of scrolls, books, tapestries, and tomes made their way to the great library. Each new item brought new questions and new opportunities for answers. Elias loved it. But for every one time Elias declined advancement within the library, he found it thrice thrust upon him. Within a few decades, he was head librarian, with all the meetings, functions, and administrative duties that implies. All of his time was spent answering easy questions he already knew the answers to. As his opportunities to acquire new knowledge dwindled, so did his health. "What happened to the fun, Zedekiah?" Elias asked his longtime friend. "Remember when we used to spend hours scouring dusty parchment searching for ways to, do whatever harebrained thing you cooked up for a new contraption?" "I do," said the gnome alchemist. "When posed a question, you were unstoppable." "Huh? Look at me. These legs can barely make it to the chamber pot before giving out, much less the stacks. I couldn't go research an answer if I wanted to." A few months later, a package showed up on Fuskar's desk. Inside was a note and a simple quill adorned with the tiniest of cogwork and alchemical engravings. The note read, "Dearest Elias, while you may not have time to get to the stacks, this will ensure the stacks can get to you. Ask it a question. If the knowledge is somewhere within your library walls, it will transcribe the answer word for word, diagram for diagram." if I may be so bold as to direct your first inquiries. How did I make it? I'm afraid you'll have to go the long way round. My notes are not in your library. With grateful affection, Z. It is said that Elias was still trying to find the answer the day he died. 38 years later, researching in the stacks. The story of Elias Fuskar is well known throughout Kalior. It is a rare student that has not sat through at least one exam, stumped on a question, wishing for Fuskar's quill. In some versions of the story, the quill is a gift from the lower librarians who miss Elias's frequent presence and guidance in the stacks. All right. That to me is a great little story. It tells of a unique piece, and it's wonderful. I especially want to hear the quotes. Nobody's done them yet. Okay, then I will. You're up next, Bob. We'll get there. This is a great story. Because it adds a little bit of flavor. I don't know how important Fuskar's quill is to this world, and it doesn't really tell me, but it does tell me a lot about Elias, and a bit about his relationship with Zedekiah. That they are, they're good friends. They get into, from the looks of it, they get into a fair amount of shenaniganery. They get into trouble when they're younger. But I think it's a great article. This is a fun article. I really can picture it in my head as I'm reading it. I can picture the stacks. I can picture, information coming from the stacks to Elias's hands. I can picture all of that as I'm reading it. I really, really, really enjoyed this article. All right. So let's go to Bob. Isong, yes, these are recorded. They're going, Twitch, obviously, you get to keep them, I think, was it 14 days? But they're also going to YouTube, to my YouTube channel, and to my Facebook page. So they are being recorded. So yeah, you can go back to these. My YouTube channel, I'd love to tell you that it's, youtube.com/Kahuna The Elder, but I'm not high enough status there yet. So it's just search on YouTube for Kahuna The Elder. I am the only one. I'm the only one. It's my ticker reference. Go there. They should be there. It usually takes them an hour and a half to 2 hours after I do the stream. That article was actually by Crayola Smoker. There's images there too. Crayola Smoker. That was fun. All right. So next, go to Dinosaur Bob. We're gonna read yours next. 3 days for the Seafarer is what this looks like. I'm thinking this is... I'm not sure. Bob, I'm not sure what kind of article this is. Choir teacher who loves every musical reference. Oh. Well, I have been told I am the vessel of immense amounts of probably useless knowledge. I'm great in a Trivial Pursuit game. I have trouble remembering to take out the trash. There you go. All right, let's read Bob's article here. Let's let that pull up on screen. There we go. "3 days for the Seafarer." Happy birthday! I'll never be understanding the import of you lanky folk placing a passing of our single year. What are you celebrating anyways? Surviving? Getting a year closer to your long nap in the dirt? We seafarers celebrate when there be something to celebrate. The day we gets our names and our clan. The day we first steps aboard a ship and go to sea. And the day we start putting the learning we got to good use as a full-fledged crewman. That's a seafarer chiding a human merchant passenger celebrating a birthday at sea. Dwarves are long-lived folk, and so do not place as much importance on the passing of a single cycle of the seasons as do the shorter-lived folk like the humans and goblins. What is the meaning of 1 year when a dwarf fortunate enough to live a full life will see more than 350 more? But there are 3 birthdays that the seafarers do mark with special ceremony, for these are the days that turn a child into a seafarer dwarf. These days are Naming Day, Sailing Day, and Arrival Day. Naming Day is a tradition celebrated by all dwarves, not just the seafarers. This is the day that an infant truly becomes a dwarf. It is the day that her name is proclaimed to the clan. The day that name is added to the genealogy of the clan. Naming Day is a tradition that dates back to the days of the first dwarves born to the awakened ones, and its ritual has been passed down unchanged. All heritages of dwarves, from those beneath the mountains to those that ply the seas, mark this occasion in the same way. Unlike Naming Day, Sailing Day is a milestone unique to the dwarves of the seafarer heritage. For this, the day, as close to a young dwarf's 10th birthday as is feasible, when the child leaves behind the land-based home of whichever relatives raised him, and he begins his life at sea. Sailing Day marks the end of childhood and the beginning of an apprenticeship during which the young dwarf will learn all the skills of the seafarer. Arrival Day is the last of the 3 important birthdays, and is also uniquely a seafarer tradition. While it is not necessary to tie this day to a particular anniversary of the dwarf's birth, most seafarers attempt to have it coincide with their 20th birthday, 10 years after their signing day. Arrival Day is the day when a young dwarf completes the solo sailing trek undertaken to prove a mastery of the sea. The journey would have begun at least 2 weeks earlier with little fanfare, other than a few well wishes from the crew of the ship on which the dwarf has been serving. This journey is expected to involve a difficult course from whatever starting point is convenient to the home port of the dwarf's family and crew. On Naming Day, 1 year to the day after the birth of a dwarf, the parents, immediate family members, and other members of the clan into which the dwarf was born gather together to officially recognize their newest member. Father, mother, and child sit in the center of a circle, formed by the rest of the clan member attendees. The uniquely crafted clan dagger is held before the child while the parents recite the full lineage that traces from the first awakened dwarves down to the child. The last name in the recited litany is that of the new child, and by tradition, it is the first time the clan hears the name chosen for the child. It should be noted that dwarves are not strictly patrilineal or matrilineal. The proclaimed heritage is traced to include the most prestigious ancestors that can be claimed. There have been many a marital argument among dwarves regarding whose line is more worthy of passing along, but these disputes always seem to be worked out amicably. On Sailing Day, the ceremony for this event is a simple one. The young dwarf is accompanied by guardians and close family members on the walk to the dock, where her future ship, most likely mastered by a relative, if not a clan member, is berthed. The child, in ritual fashion, calls out to the shipmaster requesting working passage to where'er the winds may take me. After the master grants permission, the youth boards without looking back to the guardians who raised her. The goodbyes would have been said before leaving the home. Once aboard, the youth is given one of the poorest berths in the ship, likely alongside other youths. There is little privacy. For the next 10 years, the dwarf will serve the crew however they require, and at the same time will, first by watching and later by doing, learn the skills of an able seafarer. On Arrival Day, if the dwarf completes the journey successfully, a celebration marking that sailor's transition from apprentice to full crew member takes place. This celebration typically involves a lot of feasting, drinking, and singing. Afterward, the dwarf takes a place as an adult and full crew member. There is no not completing the journey. A dwarf either completes the voyage or dies trying. The arrival day voyage is only instance where the seafarer, dwarf, or crew will not give aid to a fellow seafarer. A young voyager in distress will be abandoned to his own resources. There'll be only one more celebrating day for a seafarer, but I didn't count it because it means nothing for the honoree. The fourth day, the last day that matters to the seafarer, is the day he's put into the tomb with his ancestors. A seafarer completing his discussion with his human merchant passenger. All right. I'm sorry for not realizing that this was in column form all the way down. This was great. This really was. This added a flavor that was amazing. Fun to read, obviously. I got to do at least 3 voices there. But now that I look at the page, the way it's laid out, it's beautiful. The breakup of the 3 columns in the middle, the way the images kind of broke up the string of text. Again, my apologies for not recognizing that. One of the dangers of reading them cold is that I saw half the page and not realizing that there was another whole half beneath it that were part of the columns. So Bob, I totally apologize for that. But you know what? This gives so much detail into these seafaring dwarves. And I can see that this was a birthday article. So it really worked real well. So I really like this. Yeah, this was a great article, and great choices of images too. Those were, man. I mean, between the font you've chosen, the formatting, this is a really pretty and really interesting and engaging article. So nice job, Bob. All right, let's go to. I know Esong wanted one read, so let me read Esong's. And then if we have time, I'll read one of my own. Aha! Okay, I can tell already that Esong is going to make me twist my tongue. All right, let's give this one a shot. A Trident of the Deep, a Gadalatha legend. And that's why Jinnis has to go to warrior summer camp, right, Mama? So he can defend us from the Sahuagin and the big deep warrior monsters? One day when I grow up and get my fins, I'm gonna find the trident myself. That way, he can stay home and play with us. Copa, age 5. Shortly after the formation of the Great Existence, 4 guardian spirits dwelt in the darkness of the ocean depths. Locked into a vicious battle, they tested each other, searching to find the strongest among them. So great was the fierceness of their struggle that they tore holes through the planar fabric of reality, creating an opening to another place, a dangerous place full of hunger and hate. Horrified, the spirits saw how the damage they caused threatened all forms of life in the deep ocean caverns, and swore to make amends for what they had done. Seeing the might and strength within the Trident tribes, they each bound themselves to a tribe near each of the 4 planar tears, pledging their power and protection. But the ultimate symbol of this promise was the Trident of the Deep. Working alongside the great Trident shamans, the 4 spirits forged this mighty weapon, imbuing it with mortal and immortal magic. The shamans and spirits traveled together to each planar tear. Even with the power of the shamans and the spirits, the Trident of the Deep was unable to repair the damage. Instead, they were able to create a seal over each gate, locking the evil inside for a time. Every year the Trident would pass from one tribe to another, carried by a shaman-selected champion, tasked with its use and protection. And every time the shaman would use the Trident to reinforce the planar seal, it absorbs some of the magic of the seal into itself, allowing the champion to unleash some of its terrible might onto the tribe's enemies. During the annual Great Marrow Migration, the champion would take the Trident to the next tribe, where it would stay until the next migration. And thus, they lived in peace and safety as the Trident passed for generation after generation. But this did not last. The Sahuagin, jealous of the Trident's might and strength, attacked the Gadalatha tribe. The shaman cried out for help from the other planar tribes, but no one came. Torn between her duty to the Trident and her duty to the tribe, the champion stayed behind to defend her home, unleashing the full power of the Trident against the doomed Sahuagin. Unable to leave before the Great Marrow Migration, the champion was forced to travel during the Ocean Bloom. On her way to the Ledaratha tribe, a bitter Sahuagin warrior attacked the champion and took the Trident, leaving her body to rot in the deep ocean caverns. Without the power of the Trident, planar seals started to crack, and demons slipped through the growing fissures, destroying the Ledaratha tribe. Bitter and scared, tensions arose between the three remaining tribes. They broke the agreements of old, scattering to survive. Only the Gadalatha tribe remained by their gate, pledging to keep the monsters of the deep contained. But legend has it that the Trident of the Deep knows its purpose, and if found, can be restored to its power and glory. The old ways can be made new. The fourth tribe restored, the doors closed, and the ocean made safe again. The four Trident planar tribes are the Gadalatha, the Sabolznatha, Ledaratha, which unfortunately has been destroyed, and the Enasnatha. The item itself is a trident. It is a magic weapon. It is lost, but its purpose is to create and reinforce the deep planar seals. True? It's probably a story spread by the local antique store to try and sell a rusty old spear. Alright, I like that one. I get a full history on that one. That is awesome, Esong. I need to scroll back down here. I'm way behind in the chat. Western high school's trauma skills not going to waste here. No, yeah. My phone died, had to run back to my desk. To say I need to add some vertical bars. I'm going to redirect the reading stream. Yeah, okay. Voices are a thing for me. I've always been able to do voices. It's a knack. It also annoys the crap out of Mrs. Kahuna. Because I'll find all kinds of voices. How did I learn to do all this? It's funny. I also, it's always been there. I've always been able to pick up voices. I lived in Boston for about 3 years, and within about 2 weeks, I sounded like I was from Boston. I pick them up. I'm not always 100% on them. I find there are some that drift. An Aussie accent sometimes drifts back and forth between a different British accent, so I'm not 100% on them, but for characters they work. So I don't really try to imitate a specific dialect. I try to just make the character sound the way I hear them in my head. So, that's kind of it. Do I get paid for it? Not yet. It is something I'd like to try doing. I'll be honest, I don't know how exactly to get into that, but Hey, I'm up for sale. Maybe even cheap right now, but I'm not easy. So I do have fun with it. I really do. I was an actor in my younger days. I did theater. I've had fun with that. 10 from affiliate. Yep. I'm 10 away from affiliate. Yeah, we'll get there. I'm not really disappointed about it. I've only really been streaming for a week and a half. So the fact that I'm 10 from affiliate, I'm actually super stoked. Sometimes, I'll get pouty about something that happened. You know what? I pout for half an hour and then I'm fine. I leave the pity party and go off and do the work. Now, I want your feedback. I really don't have enough time to do justice to another thing. By the way, we're going to be rating Scribe Nakoti's stream at the end of this, if I can remember how to. If I can remember his channel name. I think it's just Scribe Nakoti. So if we can do that, awesome. I was once in a room with a Mainer, a guy from Connecticut, a Kentucky and Southern Bella Bostonian, and a West Coast Canadian accent. And the only one I couldn't understand was the guy from Boston. Wow, you understood the Mainer before Boston? Holy moly. Wow. Yeah, those Mainers are a little tough to understand. Yeah, it's a different accent. Yeah. Boston, it's been a while since I've done a Boston accent, so I'm not going to try it because I'll screw it up completely. Oh, thanks, Q. No, you know what? It's all good. It's all good. I was being a baby about it. It happens. And it's going to happen. The more great streamers we have, the more this is going to happen. And so people are going to get to choose what they want. I just decided to jump here because I saw there was about a 2-hour gap after Heffa's stream, and I wanted to fill at least some of it so that we can keep the stream train kind of going along. Mainer isn't much different from the Newfie. Yeah, it's true. Newfie's a little bit farther up there. Okay, thank you, Second Hand, for putting that in there. So when we do the raid, we've got it. Yeah, Canadians, it's Eastern Canadian versus Western Canadian, versus kind of the middle Canadians, which are analogous almost to Minnesotans in their speech patterns. And then you have the ones that are French Canadian that sound that is basically a hockey player. Newfie. So you have the different regions. I like listening to people trying to guess their regions. Swedish accents in English sound so awkward and dorky. Well, that's because we're used to hearing the Swedish chef. That's what most Americans, at least, associate with a Swede. It sounds derpy. We're used to hearing the Swedish chef on Sesame Street and the Muppets. So that's where most people think Swedish is. Yeah, Q. Let's see. Kai wants to know if I have a Santa accent. Because, the beard. Don't let Mrs. Kahuna know this. Because she wants me to remove most of the beard, just go back down to my goatee. Which I'll do because she's Mrs. Kahuna and in the end she gets her way. Yeah. I'm a married guy. You learn these lessons. So, do I have a Santa accent? Yeah, I do. Let's see. Well, hello, Kai. What is it you've been doing? Have you been a good boy? Have you been on my naughty list? We'll have to see when it comes Christmas time. That's my Santa voice. Yeah, I play with voices all the time. My kid used to have me read her stories. She loved me reading the Harry Potter books to her. The Harry Potter books, and then the other ones were the Fablehaven books. The Harry Potter ones were easy because all I had to do was kind of imitate the voices that, you know, we'd seen in movies. So that's not too difficult. I could be a small Santa. Yeah, my wife would kill me if I was a mall Santa, because she just, you know, she doesn't want any thought of being married to a guy who looks like, you know, he might be hundreds of years old. If you ever write a Christmas fantasy, I hired. Look, I'm getting that you guys have liked this stream, so I will be doing this stream some more, I think. I'm not sure if I know exactly the time. If I can do it at this time, it's great, but I don't want to step on a bunch of people. This is a fun stream, and, you know, I've had a blast with it, so I'll do more of these. I'd like to make it a regular thing, because I love reading these articles. I think this is a great way to feature people who are doing some great work. Well, okay, if you guys want me to do this, who am I to say no? Anyway, I did the Harry Potter, but the Fablehaven ones were a little tougher for me, and the reason is very simple. The Fablehaven ones, there was no predetermined voices. So if a character came back 4 chapters or 5 chapters later, I'd have to remember what voice I used. I probably should have taken notes in the margins. So, just came up with that just now. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Do it, do it, do it. Okay. All right. I will find a time. I will put it on the stream calendar. We're going to do this again. Only if you guys send me links ahead of time. In fact, let me drop my Discord. I have an invite for Discord for my Kahuna Talks channel. Oh, let me find it. Where's my channel? Oh, there's my channel. So, and it's running slowly today. There we go. So let me do an invite real quick. I can't remember. There we go. That channel. Invites. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the deal, and you can pass this link on. There's no. Okay. I'm not seeing how to get to the invites. All right, look, just go to. All right, secondhand, probably need your help on this one at some point. I will send an invite, but on the Kahuna Lair channel, there is a Kahuna Reads link. Go there. If Kahuna and Sable ever stream at the same time, we're going to be torn. I will try not to. I will. If you send me the links in the Kahuna Reads, those will be the ones. I will pre-read them, so I'm a little more prepared, and I don't make mistakes like I did with Bob's, and we'll go from there. It's about time. Let's do this raid. So it's raid. Okay, so we're going to raid the Scribe's channel, Scribe and Cody, because you know, he jumped in on the calendar right after I did, and so I kind of, the first hour, I'm kind of overlapping him. So I want you guys, please go watch his stream. Please have a great time with it. I'm glad you guys were here. I will be posting when I'll do further of these streams, and thank you so much. This was so much fun. It really was. So send me links, and heck, if you're on Discord, you can even, you know, just send them to me straight up. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys, and let's go raid. So here we go. Maybe. Pretty sure I did that right. Did I do raid right? I never know. Thank you. That's what I needed. Thank you, raid. All right, here we go. All right, so you guys, again, have a great weekend. We will see you soon.